just out for an evening walk. Something I wanted to touch on is like in my life right now and what I see happening with people of different races. You know, as I become more independent in life and make more conscious decisions, I realize that I have to be more globally oriented, actually. So, and a part of that and part of growing up is being around people of different races, and that's something that's really great, and I look forward to, because there's a lot of culture, but being this old and, you know, in my 20s and not having spent a lot of time with people of color, and not just people of color, but other races really in general, you know, it's a very small part of my life because it doesn't happen a lot. Yeah, it doesn't really happen that often, but what I have noticed is, you know, my brain makes judgments, and you know, those words in my head, they're always like stereotypes to people right away, and that's not what I want to do. Especially like because we're learning is like, yo, we want to accept everybody, and so the stereotypes come to my head in situations, and it used to suck. I thought I just had to like live through it, kind of like suffer it out, and you know, I always thought people were looking at me like the guy who you know, is stereotyped. Like I thought I had to live with those thoughts in the moment with those other people from different cultures, and I thought I just had to be the guy. You know, I thought they gave me the title of the guy who stereotypes other cultures, and other, you know, people that don't look the same as you. And I thought that's what people were labeling me as, because I was thinking those thoughts and I didn't know what to do in the moment. Specifically remember a moment when I was working in cash at Tim Hortons that happened to me, and I turned really red, and anyway, I thought I just had to deal with it, but because in my head, in my eyes, the world is going more towards, you know, accepting everybody. But what I realize is it's not actually the world. The world isn't actually accepting everybody. It's actually me that has to do the accepting of other people. So I'm the one who, you know, stops racism in the moment, or, you know, when I see those things happen now, when I see other people who don't look like me, I become awake, and I realize that I have to be the one I have to engage then and make it a good interaction, and realize that it's these moments that, you know, bring the world closer together and stop racism. It's not me thinking of the world. It's me realizing my thoughts, and you know, well, it's me realizing that, you know, those thoughts are it's just the voice in your head, or whatever you call it. Some people like to think of it as clouds passing, but yeah, it makes me more awake now, and you know, you want to make a good positive interaction, and actually I sort of try to make more eye contact in those situations, even if it's just on the fly, you know, at the beach with like random people. I try, especially in those moments, to engage, and because if I can sort of defeat the demon, or like the samurai warrior in my head, that's by looking directly at, you know, somebody who doesn't look like me, and like, especially when they look back at you, and you can sort of say, hey, it almost feels like, hey, we're squashing this bug together. It's a really good feeling. So, you know, whether or not the other person's actually thinking that or not, you know, when you reach out, you really, I mean, like, just me saying hi to somebody who doesn't look like me, or engaging, or us both engaging with each other, randomly, you know, that is the world. That's the world that you're thinking of in your head, that is, you know, going more global and accepting of like all these different communities and LGBTQ. Like, it's not happening out there. When you make it happen between you and, you know, this person, when you choose to see those those thoughts in your head as just sort of like clouds. That's the global change right there, and that's the world awakening too, if you want to get real spiritual about it. And then once you clear that up, you sort of get less clouds, less thoughts. They sort of go away. So yeah, almost think of your mind as going against you, and you sort of have to look at it's like, it's funny, I had to do the opposite of what I was doing before. I thought I just had to stand there and sort of be awkward about it, and just thought that I was this guy because those were thoughts in my head. But once you actually go towards what you're scared of, you realize that those thoughts, those clouds start to go away. So it's an interesting little tidbit. But I'm really glad I made this video. I don't know that it'll go anywhere, but there it is.